Hey everybody, Paul James Caden here with the Spirits channel. It's still a bit hot with the heat wave in my area. It was 87 degrees at 11 a.m. So I'm not really interested in going out in that kind of weather. So I'm doing my daily spirit communications indoors. A little bit busy today, so I thought I would just run a session through the Paravox app since I have gotten some good responses with this app in the past, good and clear, direct responses. And I had started another session before this, and then naturally it was infiltrated by the infamous Edward just saying his name over and over again and telling me to go F myself, as they usually do. And I was going to ignore it, but then I said, you know what? If our friend Edward wants to engage, let's see what he's going to bring to the table. If you're not familiar with Edward or who Edward is, watch my video entitled, Is There Something or Someone Oppressing Earthbound Spirits? This Edward seems to show up in a lot of people's ITC research, and he seems to be quite the gangster and the bully on the other side of life. So, with that being said, let's see what Edward has to say. Edward, are you still there? Oh, there he is, Ed. You must be very proud of your name because you and your followers say it over and over again. Edward, do you have the concept and the knowing that the light and God is much greater than you are? They know. And how does that make you feel, Ed? Sound like it said his empty heart and empty. Edward, are you a soul who is just beyond hope and reason at this point? Edward, have you adapted the old, or adopted rather, the old adage from Dante's Inferno that it's better to rule in hell or rule on earth in this purgatory, this limbo that you're in, as long as you can, rather than to, as they say, serve in heaven? Is that your motto, your state of mind? Edward, do you ever fear what your fate might be when all of this is over, because one day it will be over. You are not an infinite being. You are, but you aren't. You don't have the final say in how the universe is going to play out. Do you ever think about that? Does that ever make you feel afraid or make you reconsider your position? That sounded like a straight up no. Yeah, we know his name already. We hear it enough. The philosophy, the spiritual philosophy that I live by gives one or two possibilities. That either all souls will be purified in the end, or they will be beyond purification, continually just rejecting the light, and eventually they will face what the Bible would refer to as the second death, which would be annihilation. They would just cease to be. No eternal burning or torment or hell, just ceasing to be. The same, the first divine source that made those souls can, in a sense, unmake those souls. What do you think about that, Edward? Bullshit. Are you sure about that? I get the sense intuitively that you're trying to amass this army of earthbound souls, and you've had a lot of time to amass quite a lot of souls into your little army or whatever it is you're building. I'm getting the sense that you think if there's enough of you, well, then it's quite possible that you could somehow win the cosmic outcome and maybe even be the rulers of this particular earth, or the spiritual lords of this earth. Am I right in saying that? Am I picking that energy up right about you? Edward, let me ask you this. Have you ever encountered an angel of light? And what was your reaction to that angel of light? It was interesting. It said the Scarlet Cypress. Was that the name of the angel you encountered? And if so, if I heard that right, what was your reaction to seeing such a being that outshined you and had so much more power than you did? How did that make you feel? You say that's a secret and then swear at me. With that mentality, Edward, if I may say so, in my humble opinion, that's very childish, and it doesn't sound like the kind of mentality or intelligence that's going to win some kind of cosmic battle for whatever it is you think you're going to do. You sound like you're going to be very easily thwarted by the light. And now, how would you feel if I asked my personal angels and guides to escort you and your followers out of here? Because I think they could, and there wouldn't be a whole lot you could really do about that. How would that make you feel?
Death.
Do you have no real reaction to that, Edward? Doesn't that put things in perspective for you, though? That if my personal angels and guides could very easily remove you from this space, which they're going to in a few minutes when I end this session, how do you think you would fare against all of the incredible celestial and angelic beings of light in the universe who are on the side of the light? How do you think you would thwart or escape that in the end, when you're not even posing a real threat to my personal guides? How does that make you feel? Were you threatening me because I said something you didn't like? Are you telling me to stop? Well, I think Edward's being kind of rude as usual. So I want to ask my personal angels and guides right here during this session, could you please make Edward apologize and then escort him from my energy and from this space? Could you do that, angels and guides? Could you make him publicly apologize and then make him leave. Can you make him apologize, please? He's saying, bless you. I want to hear Ed say that he's sorry for the way he talks to people. Can my angels and guides make him apologize? Well, then I would now ask my angels and guides to remove Edward from this session. Please escort him and all of his followers away from this space, please. Bye, Edward. I feel his energy kind of getting farther away. So Edward's gone. He's been bounced. And I would ask my angels and guides, do you feel threatened by Edward? He got whooped. You took him outside and worked him over? Did you give Edward a workover when you took him out of here? All right, I'm going to end this session. This was kind of interesting, so I thank you all for listening. I'll even say, hey, Edward, thanks for showing up and giving your input. I wish you the best. I hope you find your way. And thank you to my angels and guides for watching over me, protecting me, and making sure that I'm safe during this session. So thank you all for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay in the light, stay in love, and God bless.